absolutely consumed by violence, there has to be some sort of effect on the youth because they watch violent TV and movies, hear about violent acts on the news, and then proceed to play violent video games. One of the effects of violent media on youth is that the child would act more aggressive than usual. They would usually do that because since they are young, they would mimic the acts of the violent adults on TV, movies, or in video games. One reason why they would mimic the acts of the violent adults is that, say, like a superhero movie, the good guy would be engaging the villain in physical violence or hand-to-hand combat, sometimes even with weapons or guns, and eventually he would beat and in some